to recognize that. That is very important. Now, the other thing that is absolutely essential is, as individuals, we have to return to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when things get confusing, he said that there will come a time that يُصْبِحُ الْحَلِيمُ حَيْرَانًا, that even intelligent people will become confused. He said that there will be فِتَنٌ كَقِطَعِ اللَّيْلِ الْمُظْلِمِ, there will be calamities and tribulations like the portions of a dark black night. Imam Ali said to him, مَا الْخَلَاصُ يَوْمَئِذٍ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, how do we get out of that situation? He said, كِتَابُ اللَّهِ فِيهِ نَبَأُ مَا قَبْلَهُمْ وَخَبْرُ مَا بَعْدَكُمْ وَحُكْمُ مَا بَيْنَكُمْ هُوَ الْفَصْلُ لَيْسَ بِالْهَزْلِ مَنْ تَرَكُ مِنْ جَبَّارٍ قَسَمُ اللَّهِ. He goes on, and at the end he says, this is the book, مَنْ قَالَ بِهِ صَدَقْ وَمَنْ حَكَمَ بِهِ عَدَلْ وَمَنْ دَعَ إِلَيْهِ هَدَى أَوْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. This is the book. If you speak by it, you're truthful. If you quote the Quran, you're truthful. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is the book, there's no doubt in it. This is the book that gives us all of these extraordinary things. If we implement a handful of ayahs in our lives, we'll change the world. If we implement the ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. If you just do that, pay a wrong with a right. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. And the one you will find who has animosity towards you, as if he's a good friend. If we implement قُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, speak well of people, speak well to humanity. Our Prophet ﷺ was a mercy to all the world. We have Muslims now that go and blow up other people. We have Muslims now. We used to build the most extraordinary buildings in human history. When the Hindus want to attract people to their country, you know what they put on their tourists? They put the Taj Mahal, something built by Muslims. When the Spanish want to attract people to their country, they put the Alhambra Palace, built by Muslims. When the Jews want to attract people to Israel, they put the Dome of the Rock, a building built by Muslims. I recently read in a translation of the Qanun of Ibn Sina, Avicenna. And Larry Dawsey, a physician, a very well-known and respected physician in the United States who's written several books, he said in the introduction to that book, whenever you go to a doctor, say a prayer for Ibn Sina. Because of him, modern medicine was put on the right foundations of experimentation and observation. We owe so much. Our modern world owes so much to the Muslims who developed science and mathematics, who gave the world Arabic numerals, not Hindi numerals. These numerals that we're using in the West are from the Arabs. They're not from the Indians. The Indians gave a great contribution, and we owe that to the Hindus. The Hindus were mathematical geniuses. Vedic mathematics is one of the best ways to teach mathematics. In fact, that's the way Ibn Sina learned was Vedic. He was taught by an Indian grocer. Because people that work in grocery stores are always good at math. Especially in those days before they had these calculators and things. This was our community. We were giving to the world. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. Look at this beautiful formation. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You were the best community brought forth for humanity. For humanity. It doesn't say lil muslimin. It says linnas. Our Prophet ﷺ, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. You were only sent as a mercy to all the worlds. Our Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith in Imam Ahmad, the Prophet ﷺ said, or was reported to have said, لا يؤمن أحدكم لا تؤمنوا حتى تراحموا. You will not truly believe until you show mercy to one another. They said, كُلُّنَا رَحِيمٌ يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. The Sahaba, they said, we're all merciful. This was their understanding. The Prophet ﷺ said, لَيْسَتْ رَحْمَةُ أَحَدِكُمْ لِصَاحِبِهِ. I'm not talking about the mercy that one shows to his friends and companions. وَلَكِنْ Rahmat al-nas, Rahmat al-amma. But I'm talking about mercy to all of humankind. I'm talking about universal mercy. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We forget that the kaf in the Quran, when it speaks to the Prophet, it very often includes us. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You were the best community brought forth for humanity. Why? Because your Prophet was a mercy to all the worlds. This is what we should be. We should be a mercy to all the worlds. And sometimes mercy is taking the sword out of the hands of madmen. So it's not always pacifism. Sometimes mercy means, and this is why Imam Malik considered jihad to be from the mercy, not from the adhab of Allah, but from the mercy of Allah, because it was to protect people from their worst tendencies. This is our religion. It's an extraordinary religion. It's a beautiful religion. It's a religion of ihsan. Oh. A'udhu billah. I didn't see that. Not good. Allahumma saghir. You know, there's a dua, Allahumma ja'alni fi aini saghira. Oh Allah, put me little in my own eyes. Kathiran fi ayn al-akhirin, and big in the eyes of others. Yeah, a'udhu billah. So, yeah, thank God that's behind me. Yeah. So anyway, I apologize to everybody. My goodness. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to end this with what I think is if all you get from this lecture is this one thing, I think you've gotten a lot. It's not from me. It's from one of my favorite teachers, Sidi Ahmed Zarruq. And if you take this as a principle in your life, you'll be free from a lot of trial and tribulation and suffering. He says, انفراد الحق تعالى بالكمال قاض بثبوت النقص لما سواه فلا يوجد كامل إلا بتكميله تعالى وتكميله من فضله. That Allah alone has perfection. Allah alone, al-kamalu lillah. Allah alone has perfection, and for this reason Allah has decreed deficiency in everyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything other than Allah is deficient. And you will never find a kamil in this world illa bi takmilihi, except by the perfection that Allah grants that. So the Prophet is al-insan al-kamil, because Allah decreed that for him. And then takmiluhu min fadlihi, that Allah is completing a human being, becoming a complete and full human being. In other words, not forgetting yourself, is from the grace and bounty of Allah. فَالنَّقْصُ أَصْلٌ وَالْكَمَالُ عَارِضٌ. So our state is deficient by it. That's our original state. And any completion that comes about is accidental. وَبِحَسَبِ هَذَا فَطَلُبُ الْكَمَالِ فِي الْوُجُودِ عَلَى وَجْهِ الْأَصَالَةِ بَاطِلٌ. And for this reason, to seek perfection in existence as foundational is empty, it's vacuous, it's a waste of time. ومن ثم قيل انظر للخلق بعين الكمال واعتبر في وجودهم النقص. And for this reason it's been said, look at creation with the eye of perfection, but understand that at the essence of their existence is deficiency. فإن ظهر الكمال يوما فهو فضل. So if you see perfection, it's from the bounty of Allah. وإلا فالأصل هو الأول. And if not, remember that deficiency. People will let you down. Your own spouse will let you down. Your family will let you down. Your wealth will let you down. Your health will let you down. Everything has naqs. Everything is deficient. But Allah will never let you down. Allah will never let you down. And so he says, وَبِذَلِكَ يَقَعُ الْاحْتِرَازُ وَحُسْنَ الظَّنِّ. And in that way you protect yourself, you guard yourself, and you'll have a good opinion. وَدَوَامَ الْعِشْرَةِ becomes possible. In other words, maintaining your friendship becomes possible when you recognize that people simply have deficiency. وَعَدَمَ الْمُبَالَاةِ بِالْعَثْرَةِ. And then you won't be so troubled by people when they let you down. And then he says, وَكَذَا مُعَامَلَةُ الدُّنْيَا. And like this, you should consider the world. Imam al-Junayd said, قال أصلت أصلا لا أتبشع بعده ما يرد علي من العالم. I have taken axiomatically a principle in this world. In other words, something that I know is absolutely going to be like a physical law. It won't ever betray you. And because of this, I'm never troubled by whatever happens in the world to me. And it is this, وَهُوَ أَنَّ الدُّنْيَا دَارُ هَمٍّ وَغَمٍّ وَبَلَاءٍ وَفِتْنَةٍ. That this abode, this dunya that we're in, this is an abode of depression, of anxiety, of tribulation, and of strife. This is the nature of the abode. And there's a hikmah in it. Recently, there's a book somebody wrote about the virtue of suffering. He makes a moral argument that human beings, it's only through suffering that we can develop our moral nature. It's only through the difficulties of life. This is what is going to transform it. And this is at essence what the Quran is about. It's about tribulation. It's a book that says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He created death and life to try you, to test you, to see which of you is best in action, most beautiful. وَأَنَّ الْعَالَمْ كُلُّهُ شَرٌّ. And all of this world is deficient. Here shar means naqs. That the nature, because khayr is fullness, shar is, that's why the Arabs call poverty shar, because it's want. All of this world is want. وَمِنْ حُكْمِهِ أَنَّهُ يَتَرَقَّانِ بِكُلِّ مَا أَكْرَهُ. And the nature of the world is I will find difficulty in it. وَإِن تَرَقَّانِ بِكُلِّ مَا أُحِبُّ فَهُوَ فَضْلٌ. And if I find everything that I love, it's from the bounty of Allah. وَإِلَّا فَالْأَصْرُ هُوَ الْأَوَّلُ. This is a principle. And when you're grateful for everything that comes to you, you're able to survive in this world. And without that gratitude, you'll be miserable. So we have to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm grateful to be here in Malaysia. I'm grateful for the Malay people. You're people that make us proud as Muslims. We're in the West, when we want to point people to Muslim countries that actually work, we say, oh, but there's Malaysia. You know? So may Allah bless you. Again, I thank the wonderful people that I met earlier from the royal family. May Allah bless all of you. May Allah increase you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you wisdom to do the best for your country and for yourselves. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah give you good health and prosperity. May Allah bless all of you who've come out and honored me by being here. I apologize for this monster up on the wall. But, I'm very honored to be here in Malaysia, and this is a country that I love, and really I'm not exaggerating when I say that the intellectual legacy and gift of Sayyidina Qibr Atas extends far beyond the shores of Malaysia to many places, and California is one of them, where he really is foundational to what we're doing at the college that I'm working at, Zaytuna College. So again, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Masya Allah, alhamdulillah.